Right, so I think we can all agree that this has been a wonderful dungeoning experience, and everybody is excited for more.
Yes, more of this. That's what I'm hyped for. But like, okay, sure, they really did just all file out of there.
So yeah, now that we have thinned out security, Sagi now feels confident enough to just fucking break the window and jump right in.
I mean, that's realism. But also, like, you know, there were guys and they all filed out, and you know, what if there's a further alarm and they all file back in? Like, there's nothing for them to protect in the other place. Like, the damage is done. We blew up the god cannons. They're not really going to have much point defending those. Also, did we just get like two Baelheit's right ahead checks in a row?
Yeah.
What is even, like, what's even to go back to? Why the second check? I thought the window was the point of no return.
You're here.
Baelheit! Turn Terrazet around right now! Leaders of the other nations are prepared to stand with us. Your plan has failed.
Sagi's right, Father. If you stop now, the other leaders said they're willing to write the incident off as an internal dispute. Please, this has to end.
I
Failed?
I don't know where to begin with that, but
Everything's
okay,
gone
whatever.
exactly as I hoped.
Let's just go with this.
Once I've destroyed you, Sagi, the last of the Maladeators, I won't need to plan anymore. This war I've been fighting can finally come to a close. Milliard, I have you to thank for everything. You've done well bringing Sagi here to me.
No! No, no, no! Father, you are so wrong! I'm not someone you can just tell what to do anymore. I came here because I wanted to, not because you said I should. What you're doing is wrong, Father. Don't you see? I came here because I have to stop you!
I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but like,
why you hadn't reported in. And now I
if
know.
he said like, hey, bring Sagi here for my plans, and you're like, no, I'm gonna bring Sagi here for
Listen to me,
other
Father.
reasons, you
The
do
power
understand that
people
that doesn't
have in their
really
hearts. It's not evil.
matter, right?
I know, because of my travels with Sagi. All the people I've met, all the experiences I've had. Everyone came as a shock to me, because I'd never been anywhere but the mansion. I learned more with Sagi than the School of Magic could ever teach. King Latican's devotion to his friend Gibari. Rodolfo's courage in defending his homeland.
Is that what we're calling it? Courage?
Noble compassion for the world. Gina's unfaltering love for her children. They all believed in their hearts. And now, I believe too. These feelings in my heart, the feelings I have for Sagi. I won't let you take them. I can't let you. What's the point of Machina if we have to give up our hearts for it? Machina. Machina! That's what the world doesn't need!
Like, for real, they're building up the thing. Also, what the you're
Millie!
kidding me, right?
Millie, hang on!
I've changed my mind. These writers are actually geniuses.
This is Machina!
How about now, Milliard? Do you need Machina now?
Fuck you, I have a fucking Glock.
The power of Machina saved your life, and you dare reject it? 15 years ago, when the Afterling tore your little body apart, what gave you a second chance? Machina, that's what! Am I wrong, Milliard?
You know, all you had to do was say you didn't approve of her boyfriend, God.
Also, like, you do understand the difference between the means of saving a life and the fundamental purpose of saving a life, right? You do understand this distinction. This is not a complicated concept, Baelheit.
I lied to you again. My father's telling the truth. Most of my body is made of machina. I owe my life to it. But believe me, my heart is still my own. It's always going to be my own.
Don't talk, Millie. You don't have to say anything.
Like, it's all very affecting. It's just like,
I trust you.
this is a kind of a thing that ought to have been
I'm
built
sorry.
up more,
I'm sorry.
just like thematically.
What father would turn his gun on his own daughter for the sake of ambition? You've gone astray. I won't abide it. Sagi, look after Milliard. I will put this craven in his place.
God damn it, I value our love quadrangle. It has a dynamic.
Little scarecrow.
Blast it all. My body won't do as it's
Well, that was
told.
over quickly.
No, see, that's
Stand
okay.
up,
We're building up
Let's
to
finish
the
this
1v1,
business, you and
obviously.
I will defeat you.
Oh, is
and
that what the point of this
fulfill
is?
My destiny.
I mean, I'll give him props for putting some effort into the conceiving, the
Destiny?
conceit to make the 1v1.
That's right. Destiny.
But, like,
What are you talking about?
Come, Daimon. With this battle, we can end it all. Lend me your strength.
So I love this touch, but as we do know, Baelheit is a spiriter, and when you fight him, it plays the battle music from the first game.
I mean, I was going to say that there's a riff that I recall. I mean, you know, it's not like nobody involved in this game has any talent. We always do respect the Sakuraba OSTs, you know, other than the Tails ones. Somebody has a theory.
So phase 1 of Baelheit is a 1v1 with Sagi. He does not have much health. It's only about 1,000, maybe a little bit more. The problem is that your deck is almost certainly not set up to handle a 1v1. Like, you'll be full of Gilo and Millie cards, and it just doesn't end well.
Yeah, that's not great.
May my blade be
So I just made a quick little deck that built to wipe the floor with him.
It's like there is that save point there, so like I guess the idea was that you would do that and you would be like, wow, this clearly isn't working, and you rebuild. But that's not. I don't like this.
And I'm sure you can guess what's going to happen after we beat this.
May my blade
I
be
mean,
sharp.
yeah, there's only so many ways that you can take a thing like this in a game. Especially a game like this, like. But like, no, I don't like doing that with the deck
I'll
building.
give you credit. You've done a fine job merging Malpercio's strength with your own.
What did you expect? Don't underestimate what we're capable of.
What you're capable of. Such an apt choice of words.
Anyway, that was a nice little boss
I never
fight,
thought
but
our
how about we
experiment
have
would yield a
a
success
lot of
story.
cutscenes
A
now?
complete specimen.
You're talking about the Maladeator experiments. The one Shanath mentioned.
That's right, the very same. Would you like to hear about them? You do have a right to know.
Please just
It began
fuck me up
15
with
years
lore.
ago when Olgan approached me about conducting research on the Afterlings.
Just like, I know we're in the middle of having a fight, but like, what if we had a lecture What if we just stopped everything and I just
I
exposited
was
at you?
studying the cross-fusion of magna essences. That research became the foundation of today's magna mixtures.
Well, how is it coming along?
Practical application is just beyond our grasp. Right now, we're able to attain 99.9999% of target output. That leaves a 0.0001% chance that unknown matter will spawn, due to compatibility issues between the magna essences we're fusing.
Well, I would say that's a negligible margin of error, wouldn't you? Start putting it to use.
But, Your Magnificence, there's a real possibility that any number of accidents could occur.
I said I don't care. My people are waiting. This technology will place us at the forefront of the world.
But what about...
Not one more word, Baelheit. Just see that the Magna Mixture research is concluded. I have a new project for you. Wait until you see what we found during the expedition to Husserle.
What did you find?
A piece of Malpercio's body.
No.
The legends say pieces of the god were scattered throughout the world. What's so fantastical about finding one? The real surprise is that the pieces are still living.
What?
Begin researching ways to house those pieces in humans. Even just one piece contains immeasurable power. I want you to bind it to a human heart and artificially create a spiritor.
But is that even possible?
You'll make it possible! There's no limit on funding. I will give you any clearance you need. Get started immediately.
See, this is this setting's equivalent of mad science. There is mad science, it does happen, it's just that everything else gets put in perspective.
How's a god inside a human? I did have my reservations about such an outlandish request, but still, I could not quell my curiosity as a researcher. And so the project began. Surprisingly, everything went smoothly, even the infusion of the afterling. But then...
There are so many more
Lord
ways that
Baelheit,
we
we've
could have
done
gone
it.
over this information.
Not yet. We won't know until the subject wakes. What sort of rejection signs?
I mean,
will we
literally
exhibit?
any of them must be better than directly in the middle of the climactic boss fight.
Subject's waking up.
Where am I?
Listen, do you know who I am?
What are you saying?
This is the Empire's Magnus Research Center. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Stop! Don't aggravate the subject!
Where am I? What are you saying? Why did you bring me here?
Stars Almighty! Steal off the research center! Now! We were able to destroy the test subject, but only after it had obliterated the whole center. When the Emperor learned of the project's failure, he halted it completely. The remaining subjects were quietly released.
God, at this point I feel like I would
One of
even
them
take,
was me.
just do all this shit before the fight.
So that's why you said destiny. You want to make up for your failure. What egocentric twaddle.
Oh, if that were all it were. But my story's not over yet. When the Afterling ran amok, the entire research center was destroyed. including my wife, who resided there. And Milliard, you ended up losing most of your body. My wife was gone, my daughter on the edge of death, and any culpability for the incident was on my shoulders. I placed Milliard in a life support unit and fled the Empire. I ran from everything as far as I could.
Like, it will take some delicacy to thread this needle, and I do not have any faith that such delicacy will be delivered. But whatever, let's continue watching.
Are you telling me that you don't believe in Baelheit's tragic backstory?
Forgive me,
I don't
Milliard.
believe something.
My wife, my studies, my career have all been lost. And now, I no longer have the will to go on living. I wanted to die. I was ready. And then... Who's there?
Cute trick, but
Who's
like,
speaking to my heart?
They did this one already. That was, like, way back when we first finished up in the Empire, when it revealed that Baelheit had a spirit.
I mean, we did know that he had a spirit, but like...
Well, we knew. Nobody else did.
Yeah, I guess they're doing that thing where, like, the players figured it out, but they gotta exposit it to the character, and you have to sell a thing like that, and that's, like... I mean, that takes writing. You gotta be careful when dealing with, stuff in the vicinity of dramatic irony. Hang on, where...
Don't you see the irony? A man
Did we
waits for
just
death,
switch
and
rooms?
instead he's handed the wisdom and
We're
power
back in the battle
to sway
arena.
the world's future. But despite all my doubts, my spirit was just as the legend said. She gave me just the knowledge I was looking for. Machina! As soon as I returned to the Empire, I dove into Machina research. I knew I could save the world. What couldn't I do? With Machina, I could even trump the Afterling's power. That's my destiny as a spiriter. I don't do it out of some cheap sense of
Like,
guilt.
you...
Now do you
But that-
see? That's why I
You don't-
fight. That's why I have to destroy you.
You just
How
you just
can you call
went...
that a reason? That doesn't explain why you have to take people's wings of the heart.
Like, even Sagi is seeing straight through
Our wings
this.
are remnants from the age of the gods. Relying on them will only lead to another tragedy.
Yes, sure, right, yes, relying, over-reliance on Wings of the Heart is clearly what caused any of this, and not just, like,
that befouled the world so much
mad
that they had to raise
science.
the earth into the sky.
My man, you were literally there doing the sensible thing of objecting to the tiny chance of a disaster happening was too big a chance. Like, you were that guy. How the fuck does that guy become this guy?
What the hell is your point?
What the fuck is wrong with this backstory?
It's self-righteous crap, Baelheit. All of it.
Like, is the sole dramatic intent here that he's just full of shit, and Sagi's just like, no, you're full of shit, and he's correct, and that's it?
Based on how you see things.
I mean,
Stop
it's
deluding yourself.
that, along with
Take the
a
afterlife.
lot of grief.
They wouldn't have run amok if you hadn't messed with them.
That doesn't make what he did right or
Incorporate to the
anything.
power
It is
of our hearts?
incredibly fucking stupid as a
How do you
plan
know?
goes.
The
I mean,
past is
that's
just
also
the
true.
past.
It
We
is
don't know
being
what will
fueled
happen
by
unless
a
we try.
lot of grief and
Don't
self-loathing.
be a child.
What?
Like, the guy is clearly
People are
not
just
all
like
together.
water. They pool in the pits of
But,
the
like,
world
you
until
can't
they
just...
overflow and drown each other out.
You gotta have some attempt to sell
Control the flow.
the villain's motivation.
Batman and I can do it.
Like, you gotta have something.
How? You're a person just like everybody else.
Enough talk. It's time to silence you and that beast inside you.
Guess again.
Why was it
I won't let
important
Soggy
that we know this
not
if we were
on
just gonna
my
be
watch.
killed anyway?
Something, you have a right to know before I kill you.
I still think you're wrong, Father.
Anyway, we're both fine now.
If I don't, how can I ever believe in myself?
Because like, I feel like this notion of the wings of the heart being tied to being tied to soul, and remove them and you have no soul, and or there's something fundamental missing from me and I don't feel alive anymore. It's a thing that was like introduced entirely in the final area, and like, I can see where they're going with that. Like, I can see the connection, but obviously it doesn't take a literary genius to see the connection between that and all this bullshit that we just saw. But like,
I am the fire. Hear my voice.
there's been this entire other video game before that point, and a bunch of stuff happened. And it's basically all just been a guy trying to blow some stuff up for no real reason. And like, I don't... fuck, trying to think about that. What do we got?
Well, he is largely the same as his solo variant. So his main two tricks are Hellfire, which does a good chunk of fire damage and burns everybody. And he also has... what is it? Seraphim something? It's a single target attack that does a bunch of light damage.
Take it.
But I guess the real threat is that you know, literally anything might go wrong and you might fail and you might have to sit through all that bullshit again.
Take it.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's scarier than any actual attack that he has that might kill you. It's just the pressure. The pressure is huge. I rate this at least 4 out of 5. I just realised I've forgotten the name of the second Seymour fight in Final Fantasy X. You know, that one, the one on the mountain. I can't remember his name, but everyone knows that one because it's the one with the huge fucking cutscene before it, and you did. I'm explaining the joke, but yeah.
I mean, I do quite like that, when Baelheit uses, like, the Spiritor abilities, he does a chant similar to Callus did. Like, the whole Spiritor aesthetic is very good, and it's one of, like, the only good things about this fight.
Yeah, so the little details, the staff has details, and they use the details to convey stuff. And, like, that's good. Attention to detail is always great, it's always commendable. It's just, like, that's just a nice touch. But the thing with a nice touch is that you have to have something to put the nice touch on. And, like, the whole entire rest of this is just, like, nothing. You can't just do all these little things and be like, hey, you have gravitas now.
Why, Daimon? Why won't you lend me your strength? Wrong? Is that some kind of joke? Answer me, Daimon!
You weren't listening to reason anymore. She must have seen that and decided not to help you make it worse.
Is that true? Daimon, you think I'm being selfish?
Father, please. Let's just start over, okay?
Also, it's like a dangerous game to put us in both of these sets of shoes at once. It's just like,
A fresh
Again, it's cute.
start. For me.
But I think there's something missing.
Father? No!
I see you've defeated Baelheit.
Oh, here we fucking go.
Quaestor, when did you arrive, sir?
Sagi, you've betrayed my hopes time and again.
That's
But
true.
I'm happy to say you've finally come through for me.
Quaestor!
Father!
It seems spiriters
Ah.
aren't good at swaying much of anything, are they? Why, from the look of you, you're just the same as any other dying man.
Aren't you a spiriter?
It certainly helped to have people think so. Just the word spiriter drew the world's admiration. At least until this wretch came along.
Yeah, I'll grant I did not see that one coming.
Sustaining the illusion of talking to a spirit all the time takes a lot out of a man. I was starting to look forward to retirement.
You always struck me as disagreeable. Now I know why.
Hold your tongue, puppet! The Quaestor knew what he was doing. Obviously, this was his way of bringing peace to the world. Were you only as humble as I, by his tremendous foresight and vision? Now the world can finally be at peace. Well done, sir.
I'll hand it to them. This is extremely funny.
Spare me,
You know, we're not
Gilgalad.
terrible Thor knowledge.
I have no such peace to
But,
What? What do you mean?
I will restructure the world as its new leader, in keeping with Baelheit's legacy of machina and warfare. Peace. Why, that would only lift the people's spirits. That's too tasty a morsel to squander. No, I believe I'll start by eliminating the senatorial riffraff that refused to elect me. Followed by all the obsequious fools who opposed me.
so like, is there actually anything here, or is he just like, yep, I'm evil?
Yeah, or is Varys just secretly a giant asshole? Yep, nope, that's it. That's what you get.
A real spiritor would have been better.
Baelheit at least tried to have a motivation. I mean, it didn't go very well, but like, you know, there was something.
There was a theory with Baelheit. It wasn't a very good one, but there was an effort made.
15 years ago.
And we went through all that, and we did that, and here's the dramatic betrayal that's been, like, you know, not strictly speaking foreshadowed, but like kind of foreshadowed, and like, yeah, it's finally here. Here's where we find out what the plan was.
As long as I'm spilling secrets, how's this?
And
I was the one who had that whore's wings pulled out.
yeah,
Baelheit had
kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Fending off the afterlings. So I thought I could smear his good name by drawing out the afterling within you right there in front of him.
Then that means Shanath.
Just another pawn on my board. Like you, except useful.
You know, I gotta say, it is hurtful to be compared to Shanath and be told that Shanath was actually useful. Like, that's a low blow.
I'll kill you Nice and slow when I get to it. First, I need to put Terrazet back in order.
Like, there really is just nothing here, is there?
Wait! Quaestor Varus! I'll go with you.
I don't think you understand. I have everything. I don't need you or anything else now.
You're going to abandon me? Sir!
I gotta... Also, like, I'm back to the tangent, I gotta hand it to them. This element of this clusterfuck is just getting funnier and funnier as this scene goes on. So that's nice.
What else would I do but throw you away?
Old.
If you'll all
I mean, it sure would be ironic if, you know, this whole thing was the seed that later caused somebody else to just go on a random evil spree and try to blow up the world and do a bunch of bullshit involving gods that they were not existentially or metaphysically or personally ready for, and get a lot of people killed. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, but forget me. What about Millie's father?
So, like, fucking hell. That was an enormous amount of video game content. I mean, like, by runtime, not as much as the fucking dungeon, but, like, this has been a lot of cutscenes.
Milliard.
And, like...
Forgive me.
Nothing. It's all nothing.
So sorry.
What is... There's not been any emotion. I mean, how is it that you've managed to, like, have him dying, and it still doesn't really get us anywhere?
I made her do all of those things.
I know.
I suspect that when we get to the end of the game and we do our wrap-up over the credits, that, this will be a pretty prominent part of the failure of the narrative.
The end of your story.
Like, stuff has got to change as a result of plot beats. That's like one of the things. Right? You can't just, sorry, our princess is in another castle with, like, the plot. I mean, maybe you can if the thing that goes in between your plot beats is literally Super Mario Bros. And it's like the 1980s. Then you can do that. But,
All right, you two. There's no time to dawdle. We have to go after Varus.
like, goddamn, I expected something from Varus.
Don't pretend it didn't happen. It's okay to cry.
Like, man, and now they're gonna use all this as a turning point. Like, hey, Gyulo's being nice to her now.
Time to cry later.
That's like, yeah, okay,
Right now,
big major character beat moment. But, like, that's got to be in response to something.
You can cry once this business is done with. And I mean buckets. You better not let me down.
Like, this is a victory lap kind of a thing, and there's not been a fucking victory here.
I think the one thing I will say is that Millie's voice actress does an excellent job with the material that she has been given for this whole series of cutscenes.
Oh yeah, the VAs. The VAs can work.
Varus is probably heading for
Really good
Terrazet's door.
VAs can do that. They can just turn this
okay. Let's
garbage
hurry.
material and, like, fuck this. I'm just gonna sell it as hard as I can. I must once again give the obligatory nod to the late, great Dean Bristow, voice of Dr. Eggman, who once told us that this is not just a race, but a special race to see who's the fastest. So somebody could sell that. I don't doubt Millie can sell this if we really want. Fuck it.